Thank you for tuning into Iris Inspires TV. We will be starting in a few minutes. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share with others. Get comfortable, and let's have a real talk about real experiences.
Center of empowerment, just breathe. Iris inspires, center of empowerment, just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe.
Hi, I'm Iris, founder of Center of Empowerment. I empower, M-E-A-N-T, Inner Power Purpose. People ask me, why is it spelled that way? That's because we're very intentional and committed about building bridges of hope that goes beyond solutions for families and individuals that are in transition. And we do this by impacting the 4 pillars of life: inner, power, purpose. As many of you know, that we are committed to leaving a legacy that will live way beyond Iris. Okay? And so we need your help. We need your help as a peer group support leader for our Love Group sessions that are held every Saturday. Healthy, safe, brave community spaces for connection, care, and shared healing. This is not therapy. This is love in action. And so we're calling on all compassionate volunteers for just 1 hour on Saturday to lead our support groups. You might be thinking, I'm not ready for that. I'm still grieving myself. I'm still going through the battles of being a caregiver. You're the perfect person. What you will find in you sharing and being your authentic self, that it not only impacts others, it will impact yourself. So the role of a volunteer for the Love Group session, peer group supports leader, is to help create emotionally safe spaces, offer compassionate listening, support guided group dialogue, and uphold confidentiality. It's just that simple. And another nugget, we don't throw you out there by yourself. We partner with you until you're comfortable, until you get your rhythm and how to lead the support group. So make sure you click that QR code that's right there. I believe it's at the right of your screen, or maybe the left, but it's a QR code. If you scan it, it will take you directly to the application. Who should apply? Empathetic, reliable, heart-centered. All backgrounds are welcome. Experience is helpful, but is not required, because we are going to train you and teach you in the Coin PM Center of Empowerment system, the way we do it, okay? Blessings, and I hope to see you partner with us. Are you ready to serve? Come on, sign up and volunteer today for the peer group support leader. Hey there. Yes, I am ready to be of service, and I thank you so much. I appreciate that. Please do. I appreciate that. Peace for, yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Listen, I am so grateful for you guys to be here tonight. Who's all out there? I thank you. If you can put in the chat where you are listening in from, we greatly appreciate it. One of the things about this whole internet, social media thing, YouTuberation, is that we get in the algorithm based on likes, how you are engaging with our content, and etc. And so what I do know for certain is who needs to hear this will hear this. And if it blesses you, you will share. But I'm asking you to like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Hey, we got Shay in the house. We got Inglewood College. Girl, you in Inglewood? Inglewood, Colorado's in the house. Welcome, 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 welcome. I appreciate you and I thank you for being here tonight. We're going to start as we always start, and that's with breath. But before I do that, I want to kind of set things up. This year, what we're doing, what has been placed on my heart to do is I am introducing the sacred pause. I'm introducing sacred pause and what that means and having a conversation with you. It is so important in the time that we're living in right now that we are finding our center, right? That we are finding our peace in the middle of chaos, right? And so when you hear sacred pause, can you put in the chat, what did you think? What came up for you when you heard the words sacred pause? Tell me what you thought about. Tell me what you thought about. What came up? Oftentimes, when you say the word sacred, is really wrapped around a religious meaning, right? A religious connotation. But sacred is something that is set apart, a safe place, being present. Awesome. I love it. Love it. Love it. It's set apart, a safe place. Yes, it is given homage. Let me put that there like that. Reverence, respect, a place of connection, connecting to divinity, connecting to your divine self, connecting to the divine, right? Connecting to the Holy Spirit. Some of us call it the Holy Spirit, right? Some call us getting connected. Yes, sacred is set time to be intentional. I like that. Yes, a set time to be intentional is what someone says in the chat. Absolutely. It's a set time to be intentional. You're looking good, young lady. Looking real good. Glad to have you here tonight. And then we had Shay says it's a safe place. So yes, it's a place of a time and a place of being connected, a highly valued place, right? We find that it's kind of like those times when we say sacred or a quiet time or a space of where we get to align, pray, meditate, think things through and all those kind of things. But when we put sacred in it, what we're saying, we're taking an intentional pause, an intentional be still. We're acknowledging, hold, and then exhale. That the breath of God that's given to each of us, each human being, has been given the gift of breath that causes us to remember, to activate, to calm, to center, to gauge, to remember, right? To reflect, to align. Sometimes we don't need to realign. We need to align. Okay, we need to eliminate the alignments that we are in, and we need to align. So sacred pause. And you guys all know that when I say pause, I'm talking about take an intentional breath, right? So in this moment, what I would like us to do, I want you to, in the middle of all the chaos that's going on in our world, some of you may be experiencing some upheaval and some chaotic moments and situations in your life, right? It can be around finance, health, children, housing, employment. What are you going to do? How you going to do? All those things, right? That's what's going on in our world, in our personal life. And some of us are recognizing patterns, repeating patterns, like, why is this coming up again? Hey, I thought I had overcome this. I thought that this had been settled, and you're finding that it is coming up again in your world. And so what we're going to do to begin this evening in our sacred pause, in the kickoff of this series, it's a 6 to 12 week series. And we're going to, and it's for, we're gonna take our intentional breath. So before we begin, I want you to find a comfortable position wherever you are. Make sure that your feet are flat on the ground. Okay, you want to make sure your feet are flat on the ground. I'm gonna ask that you kind of, if you're sitting, kind of stretch it out. Stretch it out. Yes, stretch it out, and then exhale. You saw how I did that? Stretch it out, stretch it out, stretch it out. And then when I let it down, I'm going to exhale. See how I did that? Inhale. Stretch, 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 hold, 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 and exhale. Yeah, sometimes we're tense on our back. Come on. Stretch, 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 stretch. Yes. And exhale. And then I want you to put your right hand on your chest. Just put your right hand on your chest. Take your left hand, put it on top of the right hand. And for me, I like to rock it out. I like to get to the rhythm of my breath and just kind of rock. Make sure that your feet are still planted on the ground, on the floor. There's nothing you need to do in this moment but be still. Yeah, how does that make you feel? Just be still. Notice your heartbeat. Yeah, notice your heartbeat. Is it racing? Is it calm? Notice your breath. There's nothing you need to fix in this moment. Isn't that nice? Yes, just stillness. The quietness of your breath. Pause. And now I'm going to ask you to notice where your mind is, what you're thinking. You don't have to judge it. Is your mind while you're breathing and noticing your breath? Is it kind of conflicting on something that happened earlier today, what you got to do tomorrow? Kind of anxious because you're not used to just being still. Yeah, a sacred pause. And now take a deep inhale. Hold, and on the count of 4, you're going to exhale through the mouth. 2, 3, and 4. Yes, and rock it out. Rock it out. Rock it out. And breathe. Rock it out. And breathe. It is that breath that reminds us whom's and who we are. We're divinely created. Yes, you, I, we, us, and them are divinely created to create divinely. That breath gives life to our world. Come on, take another deep inhale. Allow yourself to be in this moment. Let go of what you think you got to do when you get off of this podcast. What happened this morning? Preparing for tomorrow. Let it go and just be still and breathe. Notice your breath. Notice your heartbeat. How's your heartbeat now? Yes. Stillness has been misunderstood. We have been taught that slowing down means falling behind, that we need to hurry up, speed up. We're behind time, right? Keep noticing your breath. We don't have time to waste, so we got to be moving, doing something, grooving. Idle time is the devil's workshop. How many of you heard that? Idle time is the devil's workshop. So we have associated stillness, meditative, breath, when there are 2 instructions that's been given to us by the Creator, to pray and meditate. Meditation is an acknowledgement of stillness so that your alignment can allow you to hear. You can think clearly, see clearly, and also speak clearly. But your body knows when it has carried too much. Your body will tell you. Some of your bodies are telling you you wore out, you're exhausted, you're in pain. You're trying to figure out where the aches and pains are coming from. Chronic illnesses are coming up. Blood pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, which is also associated with our diet. And that's because we're moving fast, trying to keep our energy up, right? So we're grabbing the first thing we can grab, processed foods. Come on, the sacred pause. Keep your hand on your chest and just listen to me. Yeah. And then I want you now to just think about, this is an invitation for you to just listen. Listen to yourself, your body. What is your body telling you? What is your body telling you? What is your physical body telling you about yourself? Anybody want to put in this chat? What is your physical body communicating? What is your physical body communicating? Is it communicating that it wants you to slow up, but you're afraid to because you think something is going to drop? You're keeping so many balls in the air. Release the tension, let go, and let God. Yeah, that's what she says. Release the tension, let go, and let God. Someone else says, it's okay to be still and focus on myself. That's the one right there too. Focus on self. We've associated focusing on self as a selfish activity. We don't see it as divine most times. We don't see that stillness and focusing on self is synonymous. Loving self is synonymous with loving God. All right, breathe. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Yes, and let it out. Don't hold your breath. Many times we're holding our breath and embracing for the next whatever is going to happen. And so when you notice the rhythm, you notice the safety of your breath. You notice the calmness, the clarity of your thinking, right? You notice, and you can ask yourself quietly, what is asking for my attention, not my urgency? There's a distinction there. What is my body, my spirit, my soul is asking me to attend to, not what's urgent. So not what's on fire. Not the bills are due. Not I gotta go grocery shopping. Not I gotta get this project complete by midnight tonight. But what is your body? Ask yourself quietly and then listen. What is asking for my attention? Not my urgency. Everything in our world is in a poly crisis, is layered crisis. And it's grabbing our attention and we're numbing out, right? And so I've been directed by Holy Spirit to remind us that our guide, right, is on the inside of us. But we must give ourselves an opportunity to connect with it. We are in a season of transformation and change. Things will never go back to the way it was. Let that sit in. Sit with that. Sit with that. Knowing that, what is asking for your attention, for you to move in? What is your guide saying? And if you're unable to hear it at this moment because there's so much going on, distractions that has been going on, you're inundated with the pain of the world, the pain in our lives, grief, loss, upset, anger, frustration, the appearance of lack in this abundant world that's been given to us by the creator of all life, displacement, all of those things are going on. So I'm asking you to quiet yourself and ask, what is asking for my attention? What's asking for your attention? Can you put it in the chat? Anybody put in the chat, what is asking for your attention? Inhale and exhale. Let your body settle in the pause, in the inquiry. How does it feel to honor the God within you? Not distant, not external, but ever present and alive. Trust what is being revealed. Trust what's coming up in your spirit. Myself. Yes. Consistency and keep focused. Consistency and keep focused. One of the things I want to bring to our attention is that what our focus and our consistency sometimes is laced. Thank you. You walked me right into this, by the way. Thank you. Is laced with toxic resilience versus healthy resilience. We are forcing or pushing for something to manifest. When did creation become so difficult? Come on, rock it out. This is an inquiry. This is an inquiry. You're asking yourself the questions. We don't often sit with the questions, the inquiry, to get the guidance, to get the clarity, to get the direction. When did it become so difficult to focus in clarity, in intention, in purpose? Why is it difficult? Trust what's being revealed to you, what's being said to you in your inner ear. Yes. How can we remove? Ooh, that's a good one. How can we remove the toxicity? I want you to sit with it. How can we remove the toxicity, particularly when it's laced in a part of our daily belief system? If you can remember, I have, one of my anthems has been believe and breathe, right? And then I got to check. We better start asking, what is it that we are believing? Because what we're believing is keeping us in these cycles and these repetitive cycles. And so we're in a holy time right now. And I say holy in the sense of we have an opportunity to stand flat foot, 10 toes down in right now and not just survive, right? But live and create a future that reflects much different than our past. Our ancestors, our angels, our forefathers, those that have gone before us, set this time up for us to move to the next level. We're at the beginning. We're at the beginning. Somebody said we're at the beginning of a century. We're still in the first 30 years. And if you look at history in the first 30 years, there's always major change in technology, major change in education, major change in economy, global change. There's always major change, right? And there's also the major change includes the manifestation of millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. But I submit to you what may be calling you forth, we're talking about the toxicity, is are we moving in the direction of harmony or greed? Harmony or greed. There's a difference in greed, okay? And then myself, healing. So what is the motivating factor is what I'm asking. Sit with that. What is the motivating factor? How can we remove the toxicity? Any ideas? How do we remove the toxicity? We're sitting in a sacred pause moment right now. We had a pause moment during the pandemic, believe it or not. It was a very uncomfortable time of solace, right? Being still. And many were uncomfortable in that time because we felt very disconnected or not connected to others. And that's how we perceived the moment, many of us, right? Rather than perceiving the moment as a reset. Yes. Our way of thinking to toxicity. One way we remove it is our way of thinking, our belief system. How do we perceive the moment? How do we perceive today? Do we perceive it as hardship? It feels like it. So I'm not saying it's not. It feels like it. But is it opportunity? Perception. How do you see it? Observe what is making you toxic. Is it healthy thinking or negative thinking? All righty. Awesome. Observe what is making you toxic. Is it healthy thinking or negative thinking? Are we setting boundaries that are blocking us in, restricting, or we're establishing standards of living that's causing us forward? Breathe. You hear the difference? Boundaries confining us in, restricting, and standards that are calling us forward, opening us up. It's a possibility. Not only possibility, probability. How do you perceive the moment? How do you perceive the moment? Sometimes it can be the people around you, okay? Sometimes it can be the people around you. All right, that's awesome. That's coming up. So how do we now navigate the world if we're saying it's toxic around us? And I'm not saying things are world. We're not in, I was sharing with someone today, we have gotten so accustomed to being in a cesspool of surviving, right? And toxicity that we don't even know what it feels like not to be toxic, what it feels like not to be in a toxic environment. That's why we can say that you've been hearing, one of the things that I've been hearing in the media is that we don't have to worry about anything. Black people always survive. We know how to handle this. And it kind of struck me. What is that really saying about us? Yes, we survive, but are we living and thriving? There's a difference. We're surviving in a cesspool of toxicity, ill thinking, ill health, ill behavior. Set boundaries. See here, what we have here. Set boundaries and don't let people walk over you and the boundaries you set. Okay, awesome. I like that. I'm going to challenge you and encourage you to shift the word boundaries to standards, because sometimes what happens is boundaries confines us in our world and we'll find ourselves in cycles of heaviness, right? Or that we don't feel connected to others, or we don't see the future, or we don't see possibility. So I'm going to encourage you. That's one of those perceptive ideas to look at. See it as you're establishing a standard and you're rising forth versus blocking off. So I have a standard for my life, right? How I engage. There's certain conversations I don't engage in. So when I hear it, what do? I eliminate myself from the conversation because I have a standard. That's not what I want to feed my spirit. That's not what I want to take in my ear gate. Certain music I don't like to listen to. I listen to some music periodically just so I can hear what's going on, but I don't like hearing certain kinds of music when there's a whole lot of profanity. And to be quite not profanity, and they're calling the N word, the B word, the H word. I don't want that in my ear gate. I personally don't like it in my ear gate. So what? That's a standard for me. In my relationships, how I communicate, how I share, how I love. What is love? What is love for me? Love for me is commitment. That's I'm committed to myself. I'm committed to the God in me. And so that extends out into my world and how I show up for others, right? All right. So what is your stand? We had someone else here said, take responsibility. Here we go. Take responsibility. Speak up for yourself. How do we speak up for ourselves? That's a good one. I like that. Taking responsibility for self and speaking up for self. Yeah. Standard is also knowing your values and self-worth. Yes, self-worth. Protecting your spirit is a standard. Yes. So how do we speak up for ourselves? How do you speak up for yourself and you're running on E without going off, being upset because someone didn't honor you or respect what you've communicated is not okay for you? How do you speak up for yourself when we are in a world that is constantly and consistently violating our beingness as a human being, as a woman, as a man, our spirit and soul? How do we stand up for ourselves? How do we speak up for ourselves? How do we show up in the world? How do we do that? You may not have the answer for that yet. I want you to sit with that question. Sit with that, all right? It is important that we carry an awareness gently, daily. What does that mean? When you hear that, what do you hear? It is important that we carry this awareness gently into our daily life, not as a forced habit, right? But as a way of being. This is who I am. It's in my DNA. It's how I show up. I don't have to think about it because it's a part of who I'm being. You will notice that oftentimes when I'm speaking or when I'm sharing, I'll take a breath when I'm talking. Even in my videos, you'll hear me periodically. I'm taking breaths while I'm talking, intentional breaths, because I'm allowing that oxygen. I'm being present, and so that I can be present in the moment, right? So I can connect with you, so I can pick your energy up. So being gentle with yourself, caring to yourself. How do you reverence God? I'm not talking about, how do you see God in your life? How do you reverence God? This is good. Speak. Here we go. Speak without judgment. Speaking up is not always negative. I like that. Speak without judgment. Speaking up is not always negative. Let's unpack that. So, one of the things that I have often said, it's hard to not take it personal when it's personal, right? It's hard to not take someone's behavior personal when you know it has something more to do with them. Lord, I broke out into a sweat. When it has something more to do with them than you, right? But the caveat is we get to choose how we engage with the behavior. That's the caveat because of the standards. And oftentimes we don't speak up because it is viewed as negative, right? Or we don't want to be rejected. We don't want to be talked about. All those things come up. So the next time you need to speak up for yourself, notice how you feel without judgment. Don't place any judgment on whether it's right, good, bad, negative, positive. Just notice. How does it feel to speak up for myself? Or why I don't want to say anything. Notice what makes you uncomfortable about saying something. I actually had this situation come up where I didn't speak up and it made me feel ill. Once I spoke up, I felt better. Yes, because you released, you had internalized. And we do a lot of internalization, right? We do a lot of internalization of our feelings and emotions. And then that comes out as illness, anger, because we have internalized it and we haven't allowed ourselves to process it. What are you hearing me say? What have you heard me say so far? Put your right hand over your heart, your chest, and your left hand on top of that. And breathe. A sacred pause, 2026 and beyond, is calling forth for us to take a sacred pause in integrative wellness, where we're integrating our mind, body, and spirit, right? We're integrating our physical world with our spiritual world and our inner world, our mind, our thinking. Also not saying something, feeling as if that's a good one. Also not saying something, feeling as if it will offend someone. Just be truthful and honest. Okay, do you believe honesty hurts? Because sometimes that's why we don't want to be truthful, because we feel like we're going to hurt someone's feeling, because we've been told truthfulness hurts. Is it truthfulness that hurts? Or is it the delivery? Or is it because we've been taught to be uncomfortable with having authentic conversation because we don't know if it's going to land in a safe place? So we're somewhat afraid to even talk about it. We don't tell the truth is the reason why people lie. The reason why people do not tell the truth, or they give partial truths. Think about the times when you haven't told the complete truth, is because you didn't feel the truth was safe. No, only because I passed the lesson. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yes. Most times when we don't tell the truth, it is because we don't feel like our truth is in a safe place, right? And we don't want to take the emotional hit, right, of betrayal or the feelings of betrayal, rejection, being misunderstood. And so many times, that's why we don't tell the truth. Many times, that's why we don't tell the truth to ourselves. Okay? Mental well-being. Are we leading ourselves? Are we having sacred leadership with ourselves? Excuse me. This is a season of growth. And so this is just the introduction. The intention over the next 6 weeks is to go into each area and really unpack and break down and give you space to really become aware of where you are and where you're going. There's no fear but fear. There's nothing to fear but fear. You are enough. You are enough. You are more than enough. What does sacred space, after looking at what we've looked at and having the discussion of what we've discussed, what does sacred space look like for you right now? You can put in the chat. What is it looking like at this point? What has been revealed to you in the past, in this 30 minutes? What has been revealed to you? What does sacred space look like for you right now? How do you see you implementing a sacred pause in a different way? Where is your life inviting you to slow down? Not speed up, but to slow down. Vulnerable. Yes. Sacred space. Sacred pause is vulnerable. Yes. And how do we view vulnerability? That's a good one. How do we view vulnerability? And how do we view transparency? These are all words that usually have a negative connotation. We don't want to be vulnerable, right? And we definitely can't be transparent because someone will take advantage of us. And what we are finding out, come on, breathe. Yes. The one who suffers is ourself. We are suffering on the inside. Letting go of fear. Letting go of fear. That's what's showing up in your sacred pause in this moment. Letting go of fear and what that looks like for you. What is calling forth for you to let go of fear? One word that describes how you're entering this season. Can you give me one word? Continue to breathe. One word. We got vulnerable, transparent, letting go of fear. Is there any other words? What are you releasing to breathe more fully for this year? Intention. Yeah, good. Intention. Intention this year. Yes. Embrace. Embrace. Totally. Yes. Sacred pause. You're getting clearer and you're moving in intention. Embracing the fear, right? Embracing the vulnerability and embracing the transparency so that you can now move free. This is what one of the things I've learned from a lived experience, you guys, is that When you embrace the difficulty within, the torment, the things that torment, evolving, yes, the things that we're consistently evolving. And that's what this season is calling forth, is for us to evolve. And to evolve, we have to take that time, that inner time with self. Is that when the things that we usually are identifying in our world, that we're having affinity for, that seems to be pulling our attention, is the uncomfortableness that we're having on the inside of us, right? Where we haven't made the peace with ourselves, where we haven't settled it within ourselves, within our thinking, within our being. Even as it pertains, I was sharing, even as it pertains with our belief in God, the creator of all life, affirmations. Yes, repetition works. But if you put repetition on the top of unhealed wounds, you get a repeating cycle. And that's called toxicity. And it's called, it seemed like it's a cesspool. You're going, you feel a little better. You come up and you feel a little better. You feel a little better. You feel a little better, right? But you really haven't dealt with that transparency, being transparent, the vulnerability in this season, the letting go of the fear, being clear with the intention and embracing the right and allowing yourself to evolve into the newness of who you are. This is something else. Healing doesn't mean consider. Healing is not returning back to who you were. Healing is moving forward and becoming. It's not returning back. Come on, breathe. Evolving, right? It's moving forward. Remember I said earlier, what's happened where we have been is never coming back. I don't care what it is. It's never coming back. It would never look the same. And so we got to embrace that truth. We got to embrace it. We got to embrace the truth that is never coming back. It'll never be the same. And then we got to get okay with it and recalibrate. And now take that energy, that space, and create a future that is different than the past. It's nothing worse than living, day-old bread. How about stale bread? You're trying to make fresh bread. I don't know if you ever tried to make fresh bread fresh by putting in something to soften it up, right? Would you put it in a toaster, or you try to soften it up? But if you don't eat it right away, it's still stale. That's kind of living in the past. It's stale. You can't eat it. It don't taste good no more. Okay? I want to thank you for joining me tonight with the kickoff. This is just the introduction of Sacred Pause. It is my intention to encourage you and inspire you to carve out time for yourself. Do I get it right all the time? Absolutely not. I don't. However, I have a barometer that when I'm not in center, right? When I'm not centered, it pulls me back. And so I don't stay off as long as I used to. I don't stay in the depression. I don't stay in the heaviness. I don't stay in the worry. I don't stay in the concern. I don't see the lack. Even with this week, I turned on the news. I know what's going on. I know enough to know that it's a mess out there. It's a hot mess. And so I know that the skill set and the mission and the mandate on my life, yes, is to pray. Yes, is to utilize all the skills, all the training, all the experiences that I have to equip us to not only weather this storm, but to grow in this storm. Taller than a palm tree, right? That's leaving patterns, leaving structures, leaving systems for generations to come. All righty. And so to do that, that means I have to use everything that I've been taught, release the toxicity, recognize where my thinking is not healthy, and allow myself to be still. There's nothing for me to do but to be still. When you are still, you can hear. you can see. I've been thinking about is the last 24 hours. I've been thinking about people, and they've been coming up in my spirit. And within 5 to 10 minutes, they've been calling. Yes, break the mental change for. Here we go. Break the mental chains for change. And I'm gonna add another layer to that. I'm all about language, breathing, how we're breathing the language. We get to define, because every word, every breath, everything we give life to, it gives meaning to. So we break it, all right? It has the potential to reconnect, all righty? It has the potential to find its way to reemerge itself, like the past relationship can find its way back into your life that you know that the season is severed, right? It's gone. Or habits, it has a way to coming back up. But when it is completely destroyed, when we destroy the mental chains, the blocks, the belief systems, the things that told us that we're too loud, that we're not pretty enough, that we cannot manage our money, that we don't know what money is, that money it doesn't stay with me. It seems like it just goes through my fingers. All of those things it's a part of a mindset. They out to get me. It's not to say that they're not. They may be. But when we know the power that we have within our breath, our mind, our eyes, our speaking, our hands, what we put our hands to do, when we truly recognize the power and the resilience, when that resiliency now turns into healthy resiliency, where we are not only just in a cesspool of surviving bad behavior and bad habits, unhealthy habits rather, that is creating sickness, mental sickness, physical sickness, spiritual sickness. When I can go to the Creator for myself because I've allowed myself to sit, I recognize God is in me. Yeah, destroy. Try it on. Destroy the mental chains. Right? That is divine connection. I opened your email right on time. It's right. It is the right time. Ashe. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I want to say thank you again for you guys showing up tonight. So we're going to be doing this over the course of the next 6 weeks. And then we'll be unpacking specific areas that we'll be talking about. And so what I will do is send that to you. Make sure that you're connected. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you. Share. Get the word out. And let's make sure that we this community, small, big, you are community. Mind, body, spirit is community. Okay. When I understood and when I got that, my eyes, let me say this to you guys, and here we go. Let me say this. I can remember when in the beginning, like the second, third year of my college life, and I began to do some understanding and research and study. Study. And what I learned when I started to get the understanding and the revelation of the tabernacle, the temple, is my body. That each area of the tabernacle and the temple in the body is a representation of the chakras of the body. This is how we are designed to function. Each area, it blew my mind. And different things I began to understand that our eyes have kind of been a veil over it, where we have not been operating in the fullness of it. We've been operating in some of it just because of who we are, okay? Just because of, that's it, that's all, just because of who we are. So there's a spiritual awakening or awareness that we just have, right? But there's been a slight veil over it because of how it was brutally how we have been brutally mishandled over the years, right? And so we're in this season now of healing transparency, being intentional, evolving, right, in our thinking and destroying what the scriptures, some of you guys have heard this, yokes of bondage. Yoke is something to restrain and restrict. And remember I said we want to what? Rise up to the cause, standards, right? See the distinction? Yokes, bind and restrict. Rise up. Okay? And so with that said, it's been a good 30 plus years of a journey of acceptance of me and being okay with me and the voice and the gift that God has given me. And so I promise the Creator, with the ever amount of time that I have left on this planet, in this realm, that I wanted to make sure that I give everything that has been revealed to me. And I want to give it as a legacy so that we don't have to continually repeat and rebuild, that the pattern is there for those that hear, that's called specifically to what I'm saying in this hour, at this season, right? To transform and erect a future that represents what we've been saying or what we have hoped for. Okay? And so that's what Center of Empowerment is all about. Center of Inner Power Purpose. And that's what Iris Inspires is. Okay? And so we are inspiring you into action. And that action is stillness right now. And stillness is an action word. And it doesn't mean you're being lazy, but you're recalibrating to get clear. All right. Any other comments? Please let me know in the chat. Any other comments? We'll be back with you next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And I might be checking in throughout the week. Join me on Patreon. I do some things in Patreon. It's under the same Iris Inspires. I'm on all your social media platforms under Iris Inspires. Thank you so much, beautiful. Thank you. Our down at the bottom has been running, where if you want to give to Center of Empowerment, to the work that we're doing, please. No amount is too small or too large. You can go to www.coinpm.org under donations. We're on PayPal, Givelify, but all of the ways to give are there. So I want to say thank you for taking time out this Thursday night. Take this with you and gently carry it in your heart. Anybody else? I see some folks that's online. Anybody else want to put anything in there? I'm glad you joined too. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. So listen, anybody else? I got a little commercial before we go, and then we're going to get on up out of here.
Make sure you are connected. I am building a fresh new experience to better serve you with even more resources, tools, and inspiration. Go to www.irisinspires.com and connect our email list. As a Black author of 19 books, I am celebrating National Black Author Day all month with a collection of my top sellers, the trilogy, which includes You Again, Not This Time, The Day I Forgave God, Breathe Book, Workbook and Audio, Dream Big Dreamcatcher, Collaborative Work Greatness is Your Journey, and my latest Daughters of the Diaspora Return Home, and a reserved copy of Sacred Pause, a 30 minutes one-on-one session with me. Limited supply. Go to www.irisinspires.com and get yours now. Or if you purchase my latest book, Daughters of the Diaspora Return Home, you will get a copy of Dream Big Dreamcatcher. All proceeds go towards COINPM Africa Outreach. www.irisinspires.com.
So with that said, Sacred Pause. We'll see you on next Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. God bless you.